Hey everybody, and welcome to another show of Turn It Up, and we have lots for you on the show today. Show 128, my God, the numbers are climbing. We have new music from Sari Shaw, the McNamara Project, Bay Curious, Emma Wilson, Bedwin Morgan and Neve Murray. I'm sure I got that first name wrong, so sorry about that. Odd Crew, Dick Von Rock and Ghosts of Sunset. Also join us on the show are Sean Chambers, Eric Gales, Crazy Elephant, Mamas and Papas, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Jane's Addiction, Helen Reddy, Cliff Richard, Sleigh Boots. Now, Sleigh Boots are the guests on this week's Turned Up interview, and really these young New York musicians are a breath of fresh air, as you will hear from the music played, and the attitude is really something to behold. So looking forward to playing that for you. Also, Roxy Music. Then we have the fans' favourite choice from Kevin Brady from Cool in Westmeath, and Kevin's choices are the Manhattan Transfer, Peter Sarsted and Louis Armstrong. 3 classic choices. Thank you so much, Kevin. Also music from Julian Sass, Boogie Beast, Roomful of Blues, Smokin' Joe Kubek and Bonus King, Galia Volt, Richie Blackmore, Anthony Gomes, and then the producer's pick is Fate and Metal Church, and that's another cracking one. Then we also have music from Hannah Aldridge, LP, Els Bailey, Brian Adams and Tina Turner, Status Quo, Joe Cocker, Led Zeppelin, Spencer Davis Group, and AC/DC. But to get things off to a flying start, let's start with brand new music from the one and only Miss Sari Shaw. This is brand new from her, and this one's called Back to LA.
The lucky one when we were wild and free, but I'm still here trying to be someone. You made it all the way back to LA. I spent my life trying to stay away. All my dreams are gone, afraid to leave this place behind, to put my brave face on. You always knew, but I was full of doubt if I
Yeah, I mean, Sari's one of those people, she's quality, but, right through the pandemic, she's kept in constant contact with our fans and listeners. And really, it's probably one of the positive things that come out of the pandemic now appears to be over, thankfully. In that, the link between the artists and the fans, certainly in a number of cases, and certainly the case with Sari, has become very close, and it's really nice to see. And Sari is a wonderful soul. She is immense talent, and we are delighted to kick the show off with our brand new single. Best of luck, Sari. Now, next up, somebody else I greatly admire. This is Sean Chambers, and this is a track from his 2009 album called 10 to Midnight. This one's called Brown Sugar.
Told me, man, there's something gonna change your life. My friends, they all told me, man, there's something gonna change your life. Got to have some of that brown sugar. Man, it's just gonna make me feel so right. Make me feel good, and it's gonna change my life. There's something make me feel good, and it's gonna change my life. Gotta have some of that brown sugar. Got to try it before I die. Now to save me when there's no place left for me. Lord, stop set me when there's no place left for me. I got to have some of that brown sugar, as long as that's gonna set me free. Change my life. There's something make me feel good, and it's gonna change my life. Got to have some of that brown sugar. Got to try it before I die.
Yeah, I mean, Sean is A real gritty, powerful blues rock guitarist. Such a nice man, but once he gets that guitar going, he turns into a rock and roll demon. He knows how to play it, he knows how to do it. And that was a track from an album he released back in 2009 called 10 to Midnight, and that was Brown Sugar, not to be confused with the Stones classic. Now, next up, well, here's another man that knows his way around a guitar fret. Eric Gales, and this is a track from his 2014 album called Good for Something, and this one's called Steep Climb.
Life can definitely be a steep climb, you know. And also life can tend to be a little wild. A little Zach Wild, that is. Show 'em what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, Eric's one of those people. He has a very special talent, and certainly one of the outstanding guitarists in the world of blues rock at the minute, and always delighted to play his music. Actually, Eric has a new album out now, I think called Crown, and we shall be playing tracks from it in the not too distant future. But for now, that was Eric rocking away there with Steep Climb, and as I said, that come off an album come out back in 2014 called Good for Something. Indeed you are, Eric. Now next up, this is a band going back to the late 60s. This is Crazy Elephant, and this is Gimme Gimme Good Lovin'. Oh yeah.
From Atlanta, Georgia, to the Gulf Stream water, to California, I'm gonna spend my life a broken night and day. Say, give me good loving every night. Yeah, you know it's all right. Give me good loving, make it alright. To the girl in Frisco, to the girls in New York, to the girls in Texas, can you gotta understand that baby I'm your man. And say, give me good loving every night. Yeah, you know it's all right now. Give me good loving, make it alright. Give me good loving every night. You know it's all right now. Give me good loving, make it alright. You know it's all right now. Give me good loving every night. Give me good loving, make it alright.
Now, I really come across this track recently, and to be honest, if I admit it, I hadn't heard it before. Well, I probably had, but didn't know the name of the band, but I just decided, kind of a feel-good 60s vibe to it, that we play it. And then when I did that, I was in a kind of a 60s mode, so then I said, right, what about Mamas and Papas? And the classic, Monday, Monday.
Monday, Monday, so good to me. Monday morning, it was all I hoped it would be. Oh, Monday morning, couldn't guarantee that Monday evening you would still be here with me. Monday, can't trust that day. Monday, sometimes it just turns out that way. Oh, Monday morning, you gave me no warning of what was to be. Oh, Monday, how could you leave and not take me? Every other day, every other day of the week is fine, yeah. But whenever Monday comes, you can find me crying all of the time. Monday, so good to me. Monday morning, it was all I hoped it would be. But Monday morning couldn't guarantee
That Monday evening you would still be here with me.
every other day.
Every other day,
Every other day, every other day of the week is fine, yeah. But whenever Monday comes, you can find me crying all of the time. Monday, can't trust that day. Monday, it just turns out that way. Oh, Monday, won't go away. Monday, it's here to stay. Oh, Monday.
I mean, what a great tune. And that was a single back in 1966 taken from the album called If You Can't Believe Your Eyes and Ears. Well, I'll tell you, your eyes and ears when you seen the Mamas and the Papas with Mama Cass and the band, something to behold, and that's still an all-time classic. Now, we're still in that vein, so we have a little bit of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and this is, of course, a classic song from the Deja Vu album that came out in 1970, Our House.
I'll light the fire. You place the flowers in the vase that you bought today. Staring at the fire for hours and hours while I listen to you play your love songs all night long. For me, only for me. Come to me now and rest your head for just 5 minutes. Everything is done. Such a cozy room. The windows are illuminated by the evening sunshine through them. Fiery gems for you, only for you. Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you. And la 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 Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you. And I'll light the fire while you place the flowers in the vase that you bought today.
Yeah, I mean, these guys fought like cats. It's well known that they did and that many bust-ups. But I'll tell you one thing, when they did get it together musically, by God, they produced magic. And that was an example there. That was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and the classic Our House, taken from the Deja Vu album, which came out in 1970. Now, next up, we have some Jane's Addiction. And this is a track taken from the soundtrack from the Sons of Anarchy. And if you love your rock and bikes and stuff, I'm sure you love this. This is their version of the Stones classic, Sympathy for the Devil.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I've been around for a long, long year, stole many a man's soul and faith. I was around when Jesus Christ had his moment of doubt and pain. I made damn sure that Pilate washed his hands and sealed his fate. Pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name. Oh, what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. I stuck around in St. Petersburg when I saw it was a time for change. Killed the Tsar and his ministers, Anastasia screamed in vain. I rode a tank, I held a general's rank when the blitzkrieg raged and the body stank. I'm pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name. I was puzzling you is the nature of my game. I watched with glee while your kings and queens fought for 10 decades for the gods they made. I shouted out, who killed the Kennedys? When after all, it was you and me. Let me please introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. Alley jocks, all the troubadours who get killed before they reach Bombay. Pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name.
Yeah, I have to say, a very good version of a classic. Really enjoyed that. That's a great track, and they certainly put their stamp on it. That was Jane's Addiction and Sympathy for the Devil, taken from the soundtrack album featuring tracks from the series of the Sons of Anarchy. Great series, love it. Next up now, we have Helen Reddy, and this was a big hit for her back in the early 70s. This is Helen and Angie Baby.
You live your life in the songs you hear on the rock and roll radio. And when a young girl doesn't have any friends, that's a really nice place to go. Folks hoping you'd turn out cool, but they had to take you out of school. You're a little touched, you know, Angie baby. Lovers appear in your room each night and they whirl you across the floor, but they always seem to fade away when your daddy taps on your door. Angie girl, are you alright? Tell the radio good night. All alone once more, Angie baby. Angie baby, you're a special lady, living in a world of make-believe. Well, maybe. Stopping at her house is a neighbor boy with evil on his mind, 'cause he's been peeking in Angie's room at night through her window blind. I see your folks have gone away. Would you dance with me today? I'll show you how to have a good time, Angie baby. Angie baby. Angie baby. When he walks in her room, he feels confused, like he walked into a play. And the music's so loud it spins him around till his soul has lost its way. And as she turns the volume down, he's getting smaller with the sound. It seems to pull him off the ground toward the radio he found, never to be found. The headlines read that a boy disappeared and everyone thinks he died, except a crazy girl with a secret lover who keeps her satisfied. It's so nice to be insane. No one asks you to explain. Radio by your side, Angie baby. Angie baby, you're a special lady, living in a world of make-believe. Well, maybe. Well, maybe. Well,
Yeah, very distinctive voice, a great vibe to the song, and that came from an album called Free and Easy, and that came out in 1974. And, she had many other hits, but that was the big one for Helen, and certainly is a song I still love to listen to and play. And in the same vibe, I thought, well, do you know what? Let's bring Cliff on the show. This actually was number one for Cliff in the British charts, I think, for maybe 4 weeks. This is Cliff and Devil Woman.
I've had nothing but bad luck since the day I saw the cat at my door. So I came into you, sweet lady.
thoughts going round inside my head. Things that I've done and things that I should have said. Swirling like flakes in a snow globe, it's all so confused. Visions of paths not taken and talent unused. Suddenly too many years are behind me, lost on the way to try to find me. When did I fall asleep? I prayed for my soul to keep. When did I fall? How did I fall? Everything gold in my life has been turned into lead. Dragging my feet like a zombie that's moving but dead. Watching the world on a screen till I fall in a trance. Follow the steps as I join in the sleepwalker's dance. I don't know when I closed my eyes. Now I find my lids are shut tight. When did I fall asleep? I creep for my soul to keep. When did I fall? How did I fall? How did I How did I When did I fall asleep? I creep for my soul to keep. When did I fall? How did I fall? When did I fall asleep? I creep for my soul to keep. When did I fall? How did I fall? How did I How did I
Yeah, I mean, I love that track, always have, and probably it's one of the few times that he really went into that kind of darker, rockier mode, and he could certainly deliver it, and that's a great track. That was Cliff Richard and Devil Woman. Now, we're up at the point of the turned up interview. Now, this week, well, we have New York band Sleigh Boots. And, you know, as I've said, you know, earlier on Facebook, you know, every now and then you come across a band or an artist that just make you sit up and take notice and say, wow, I like that. And that was the case when I heard the music of Sleigh Boots. And, you know, the girls in the band, you know, they have a great attitude. They're really lovely, and it's my honour to play their music on the show, and was such a special occasion to interview them. So really, without further ado, just sit back and enjoy the turn up interview with the girls from Sleigh Boots. Hey everybody, and welcome to another Turned Up interview. And as always, we're so appreciative of the artists that take out time to speak with us here on the show. Now, as you know, my musical taste is wide, but the thing I love is hearing new music or music I haven't heard before. And when I do, it's such a thrill. And here is a band that I've only come across in the recent past, and I've been so impressed. And they're really a wonderful bunch of people. They're producing music that really reaches into your heart. So will you give a big welcome to Sleigh Boots from New York City. How are you, girls?
We're good. Hey, Jerry.
Listen, first of all, it's great to chat with you. And I mean, look, I'm so impressed by what you're doing musically. It's so uplifting, and you know, God knows we need that in these current times. So I'm going to ask all of you individually just to tell your story about the involvement of music and what has happened up to this point. And I suppose, Tiffany, I'll start with you and let you tell the story, and then in turn everyone else will tell theirs, and then we just have a good old general conversation. So, Tiffany, over to you.
Thank you, Jerry. Well, my name is Tiffany Lyons, and I am the lead singer of Sly Boots. And how music started for me, I think it really started. I am an Army brat. My mom is a retired lieutenant colonel, and it started with road trips, I think. And at a young age, my mom always had the CD deck ready to go with her favorites, Smokey Robinson, Gloria Estefan was also a favorite in the car. And it got to a point as I was growing up of my mom would be asking me, what are your CDs? And I remember our first trip to the military base, to the post exchange, and me picking out my first albums. And obviously being young at that age, it's a lot of movie soundtracks. But I remember one in particular I picked up because I liked the artwork, and it was the Great American Songbook. So it featured obviously Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Perry Como, and a lot of jazz greats that began to sing the American Songbook. And from there, I think I really developed a very eclectic taste as a kid. And I was that kid who, you know, at parties and they would have karaoke, I'd be up there singing everything from country ballads to R&B hits. And my love of music just kind of evolved from there. And of course, always keeping at my heart musicals. That was always a really special part of my relationship with my mom. Is we both love musicals. She took me to Broadway numerous times when we came up to New York to visit. And it kind of just grew from there in school, in different choirs. And when I finally came back from college, I got really invested into the music community in Rockaway Beach, Queens, Rockapulco. And I was actually invited to sing at our storied Irish festival, where I sang Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You. And that's where I was introduced to this amazing musician, Sal Maida, from Roxy Music, Sparks, Milk and Cookies. And after our show, and after I performed that amazing song, he said that maybe if I was looking for a band, he might have some ladies I should meet. And that brings me to today, where 2 years ago, I went and auditioned to join Sly Boots with Margaret and KG. And from there, we just built a sisterhood, and I think of them as my two older sisters, and we've been playing music and practicing nonstop, rehearsing, even through the pandemic. We figured out ways to do rehearsals and vocal rehees, and we got to go back out and perform this summer a couple of times, and now we're back in the recording studio so that we have some new stuff ready for next year. So we're just super happy to be playing again and to be playing together. And I feel so honored to be a part of a band with such amazing and talented musicians as KG and Mags. And they've taught me so much, honestly, not only about music as a whole, but about my voice and how to really expand on the gift that I've been given, and to do it in a really healthy and steadfast way. That it's not something you just wake up doing. It's something that you wake up and push yourself to make better. So I'm always appreciative for them really helping me find my voice. And this band has a really special part in my heart. And yeah, that's where I'm at with music. How about you, Mags? Well, that's so lovely to hear. Thank you. So I'm Margaret LeBombard. I am the bass player. And I started playing bass when I moved to New York. I was living with my brother, and I had a broken foot and, no friends. And, I was just like new to the city. And my brother is a guitar player, and he was like, yo, Mags, we should start a band up. You've always wanted to play the bass. So we went to Guitar Center, and I bought a bass. I bought like a little amp, a book, and he and I just started playing music. And since he was going out, he made friends with a singer-songwriter, and we started our first band. I loved it. I always continued to take music lessons, and I became really involved in the bass community in New York City, which I have to say is super, super, super supportive, and it's a great community. And Sal Maida is a bass player that introduced Tiffany to us. So anyway, years ago, I was playing in a rockabilly band at like some honky tonk in like the Lower East Side. I meet a guy. He says, "You know what? My good friend is in a band, and she needs a bass player, and her name is KG." And so I got KG's phone number, or I think he might have put us in together. It doesn't matter. But we got put together, and then I started playing in a band with KG, and then she and we've backed up singer-songwriters, different bands. Like we've played in many, many, many different projects and throughout the years. And then one day after playing like a bunch of different singer-songwriters and actually playing their music, KG was like, "You know what? Let's start our own band." And I'll let KG tell that really cool story.
Okay, well, thanks, Mags.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm KG Noble. I'm the guitar player in Sly Boots. Let's see. Well, yeah, I'll go the other way around. It's like Margaret and I, as she said, we played for years in all kinds of different configurations, and then we decided, it's time for us to do our own thing now. And fortuitously, I had been involved in a songwriting group, which required us to write a song each week, write and record and upload a song. So it was done on the internet every week. No exceptions, no excuses. So it didn't matter if you were sick, if you were on vacation, or getting married. You had to turn in a song, or you were out. And then you had to wait until the next cycle. If they had room, maybe they would invite you again. But it was pretty tough. So no excuses, one song a week. Didn't have to be a good song, but one song a week. So I had finished doing just over a year of that. So I had over 50 songs. And I was like, yeah, I think we have some stuff to work with. And so we started getting together and doing that. And then at one point, one singer we had been working with didn't work out. And all of a sudden, our friend Sal Maida said, I have somebody you should meet. And we met Tiffany, and like suddenly the songs just got taken to a whole new level. It was amazing. So we feel, we just felt like, wow, goosebumps in the room. It was like, this is it. And Margaret and I were like so happy because we'd played in a lot of different situations. And finally we had somebody who clicked with us and just, brought a whole new life and dimension to the songs. So that was pretty amazing. But as far as how I got into music, I didn't have music lessons as a kid. As a teenager, I became obsessed with music and collecting records. And I became a DJ in my college. I was a college DJ. And so I got to impose my music taste on others, which I really enjoyed. And then I was, my boyfriend was in a band that became very successful at some point. So I was always around musicians, and I was obsessed with music, and I really, really loved the sound of electric guitars. But I would listen to it, and I was like, I'm too old. I'm a girl. I can never, it's too late. I can't start. And then I went to see Aerosmith perform at Madison Square Garden, and a friend of mine, he had some connections, and he managed to get us backstage. And it was really cool. We got backstage, and it was really small, and they had catering there, and it was like Cher was there with Bon Jovi, and Steven Tyler was there, but the person I wanted to meet was Brad Whitford, who's considered the second guitarist of Aerosmith. But I always, when I listened to Aerosmith songs, it seemed to me like Brad Whitford was the secret sauce. Like, he had these amazing parts, and I sort of felt like he was the thing that really put them over the top and just made it extra special. So I was excited to meet Brad Whitford, and he came out, and I talked to him, and I told him about how, I've always wanted to play guitar, but it's too late, and I can't, and blah, blah, blah. And he was super nice, and he talked to me for about half an hour, and he really encouraged me, and he said, no, I think you should. I think you're going to really love it, and you're going to enjoy it. And he told me about, the guitar that he was playing, which was an ESP guitar, and it was this beautiful seafoam green color. And I came out of there just walking on air, and I was elated. And after that, I went out and I bought a seafoam green ESP guitar, and I started practicing. And then within the year, I joined a band, barely able to play bar chords, but it didn't matter. And, we started playing Ramones covers, and then from there, the singer turned to us one day and said, we need to write our own songs. And I said, I guess I could do that. And then I wrote a song, and I wrote a bunch of songs for that band, and we played CBGBs, and, the addiction has continued ever since.
Sometimes it feels like the world's gone mad. The age of reason was just a fad. A smiling stranger, a helping hand. Now smell of danger and secret plans. There's no place safe, no place safe. I hear it ticking, it's in the air. We're ready to explode.
You know, girls, that's a great story. And I suppose the thing that the common thread is that all of you have a love and passion for music. And all you really needed was that common denominator of someone just to thread the whole thing together. And obviously that's what happened for you. And you know, I'm a great believer in the karma and the universe. And I think when your time comes, you know, things happen. And things happen for a reason. And your time happens to be now. And that's how I feel about it.
Woohoo! We'll take it.
Tell me something on a more frivolous note, right? The name of the band, just to change it slightly. How did you come up with the name of the band, Sleigh Boots? Really good name, but who picked that?
Well, you know, picking a band name is is problematic, and many bands have broken up over not being able to decide on a name. So we were kind of at that point. And it actually, I subscribed to one of these word a day emails, you know, to brush up on my language skills and keep up with the newfangled lingo. And Sly Boots was the word of the day. So I happened to bring it up to folks and say, well, what do you think about this word? Because I've never heard it before. And it was the least objectionable name that we had. So that was it. That was the winner.
So it was just that simple. It's actually it's a great story, and I mean, you know, like you said, you know, the whole pandemic and people being apart and not being able to play. It certainly in many ways it hasn't been the best time for a young band to get out there and get on the road and you know, improve their credentials. But somehow, and I mean, your story is one of many stories where people have found a way. They've found a way to do the thing, not like it was before, and it is different, and sometimes different's hard to adapt at the start, but nevertheless a way has been found. Because I know there's been albums recorded by artists over the last 2 years, really, and artists in different countries, you know, recording a tune, then sending it in and putting it all together. So it's not the same as it was before, but it still can work. And I because I'm Irish, I've gone back. There was the Irish connection, Tiffany, at the start, where you sang the Sinead O'Connor song. So what a song to sing! It's a really beautiful song. And you know, have any Irish connections? Is there anyone that has ancestors that come from this island, or is it just an affinity with the people or the music?
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You go. No, Tip.
I have family in actually Northern Ireland in County Derry and Eglinton, and I used to go when I was in high school a bunch of times, and just go there for the summer and experience, and obviously travel down the coast and go to Ireland and experience. Oh my gosh, the pub life, the music. It's a whole other world, and to see an entire culture that's built around communal singing, I think is amazing. And it's just so fun to be a part of, especially going there with my family, and getting, you know, a little bit of the community connection and being brought in certain ways. So I definitely have so much love for Ireland and the islands. I truly love it, and I can't wait for us to be able to go back and get to bring my fiance there to meet everyone. But yeah, I love Ireland.
That's great, and I suppose, yeah, our culture's always been blessed with, you know, lots of different strands of music too. The traditional Irish music is course is there for centuries, but you know, lots of other genres too. It's fairly rich in that, and we're kind of proud of that, I suppose. But music is something it's global, it's universal, it connects with us all over the world. I mean, just like when I heard your music and really liked it, and we made contact, and I mean, I have to say, you know, you were so gracious and kind, and that impressed me so much, even the communications we had. I knew immediately before we even spoke, you were really wonderful people, and I certainly felt straight away that I wanted to make that connection. I wanted to play your music and I wanted to help you, and that certainly has been a pleasure for me to do. So tell me something, just to talk about the music and the band and the stuff you've released. Just, you have something new out of the minute, and we talk about that, but just what has been happening and maybe what you hope to do in the not too distant future. Whoever wants to take that, or all of you, go for it.
KG.
KG, it looks like you're up. Come on, tell us the story. Tell us the story.
Okay, of the music that we have.
Well, what's that? You have new music out now. You have a new single out now. Let's talk a bit about that. And then after that, what you had 2 others there. And if there's any other plans, just the 3 songs really that have been out recently. We'll talk about them. Talk about the current one, then we go backwards then.
Okay, well, our latest release is Beautiful Loser. And so that's just come out, or it's just about to come out. And that's a song that I think we were all really excited to record. Certainly, I think Tiffany related to it pretty quickly, and she just brings this whole other level to it. It's Beautiful Losers, you know. It's like, as Tiffany likes to say at our shows, you know, we all know them, we all love them, you know, we all have a beautiful loser in our life, you know, somebody who just, they're just so full of potential. They're just so, they're so talented. They have so much going for them, and they just can't get it together, you know, and sometimes it's just, it breaks your heart, but you can't save them. They have to save themselves. And so that's the frustration of, you know, these beautiful losers in our lives, you know. So that's what that song is about. And I think Tiffany did an amazing job of singing it. It gives me chills. So I'm really excited to share that song with everybody. And then we released 2 other songs. The first one was called The Fall, which was really...
How did I fall?
How Did I Fall? Yes, thank you. Yes, How Did I Fall, which was kind of dreamier, but that was more about, you know, how did I fall asleep? So it's a lot of times we end up sleepwalking through our lives, you know, not really paying attention to things. I don't know, just maybe over the years, you know, the pursuing careers or trying to get your life together, you sort of fall asleep. And so that's what that song was about. I was just like, wow, you know, kind of realizing that you're asleep at the wheel, and maybe it's time to wake up and take some control. And then in December, we released a more upbeat song called World's Gone Mad. And that one was more about channeling this anxiety that I think we've all been feeling recently about, you know, world events, you know, whether it be politics, climate change, you know, health, disease, it's everything. It just feels like there's been a lot on our plates recently, and all of us just kind of feel like, you know, you open the papers and the headlines are disturbing and everything seems to be designed to upset you. But then I think, as we said in our blurb, we also try to remember that it's the daily moments of connection. You know, you go to your neighborhood store, your neighborhood, you know, bodega, your little corner cafe, and the person behind the counter is like smiling and is asking you, how's your day going? And you feel this connection, and it's human, and you feel like, you know, it's all going to be okay. This is what it's all about. And if we just remember to do this as humans, individually, in person, one-on-one, this is how we make things better.
I think I know what you mean. It's like, it's kind of like as a community, kind of reassuring each other, being there for each other, to encourage each other that, you know, there are better days. And that's so true, because most of us in life, the most important thing we need is someone to reaffirm, you know, maybe who we are, what we are, and to believe in us, even if it's, you know, it can be a personal thing, it can be a general situation, it can be just generally community, but sometimes we need to hear that from somebody, that, you know, there is better days ahead, and it's certainly, it's very, very important.
outshine the sun, or so you said. Glamour's in the ruins of a life that never was. Now you've sold your soul, no faith, no hope. Sliding down a slippery slope, oh no. Alluring little victim, all tied up with velvet rope. Beautiful loser, waiting for the world to rescue you. Beautiful loser, it's better to lose than to face the ugly truth. Perpetual potential is all you ever want to be. Oh no, the meaning's non-essential. What could be is always greater than what is. It's easy enough to try. When you fail yourself, then it's all a lie. Beautiful loser, waiting for the world to rescue you. Beautiful loser, it's better to lose than to face the ugly truth. Always asking for my help, but you never take my hand. Why you love that desolation, I can never understand. Beautiful loser, waiting for the world to rescue you. Beautiful loser, it's better to lose than to face the ugly. Face the ugly, face the ugly, face the ugly truth. You're beautiful, so beautiful, beautiful loser. Beautiful, so beautiful, beautiful loser.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and now more than ever.
Oh, I think now, and I think like girls, music plays such an important role in feeding our spirit, because you know the spirit is bruised and battered over the last 2 years, and you know hope has been battered a bit too, and that you know we thought probably this pandemic would have lasted a few months, then it was a year, now it's 2 years. And to be honest, there's no clear end in sight, and we all hope and pray that a way will be found to live with it. It's probably not going to disappear, but to find a way to get back to as near to what we used to do as possible, maybe in a different way, but as close as we can, because you know music is the food that feeds our soul and our spirit, and it's such an important thing, and it gives us hope and it makes us happy, and we need that balance in our life, because when there's a lot of negativity around, you know, it's like the universe has two forces, positive and negative. So to keep that in balance, we need the positivity, and bands like yourselves and many others all over the world are all a part of that whole musical force field right over the world that we all feed off. And I think it's a thing that happens between even the artists and the fans, whether it's listening to the music on the radio or in particular if it's a live gig, that there's a synergy between both, and both actually, it benefits both people. That's how I would see it anyway, girls.
Yeah, I want to like share something with you, Jerry. Is that in 2019, like right before the pandemic, we had our first show, and we actually sold out the club. It was packed. Everything, like, we played so well, and then we played actually the following night at the bitter end, and then we played another like music festival in a club downtown. And so we were like, things are great. We had songs we were going to record. We had a plan. And then the pandemic hit. And the three of us, even though we were all dispersed in different locations, like New York City, I went to my folks' house, you know, Tiffany was still in Queens at the time. We had a standing phone call every single week, no matter what. And we didn't talk about music. We just like cried and, you know, used each other for support. And it was like that for 1 year. I remember, like, I'm not going to comment on anybody else, but like, I remember picking up my bass when we got back to New York and it was time to like rehearse again after we got the vaccines. And I was awful. My strength in my hands was so weak. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have no relationship with this instrument. I have not picked it up barely in a year. But because we stayed connected during quarantine, the level of trust that I think the three of us have and we develop really comes out on the creative side, because KG writes the blueprints and then we like hash them out and we play the songs and we play and we play and play and we try different things and we contribute and we make suggestions and we take things, like we throw the kitchen sink at it and then we tear it back down. And the silver lining is that I think we had to go slow to kind of go fast in a way. Like we just really developed, like Tiffany said, like a sisterhood, because we were there for each other for so long, and then now we can create music in a very safe space.
I know, and you know, that's a beautiful thing to do too. And you know, sometimes in life, to go through tough times or go through times when people are under pressure, in many ways, you know, you feed off that experience, and even to create music. That, you know, look at the blues musicians. Look what those people that wrote those early songs. You know, they worked in the cotton fields. They had nothing except their music, but yet their music still was it was the way that they expressed all of that, and that music still lives. So I think that the same with you guys or bands like yourselves, that, you know, indeed it wasn't easy, and indeed I'm sure you cried a lot, as many of us did, because it has not been an easy time for any of us. And I can even speak for myself. If it wasn't for this radio show, which kind of started just months before the pandemic started in August 2019. And I know I can only speak for myself. If it hadn't been for this happening and the connections and the camaraderie and the people that I've met and the development of the show, it was all positive. And if I hadn't had it, I admit I would have been in a dark enough place. So I owe so much to music, and I think a lot of us do. And it pulled us out of this in a way that you couldn't have believed. And it's a very strong unifying force. And I think the music scene generally will benefit all the more from it when we do eventually get out of this.
Completely agree.
You know, and you guys are doing something really great. The music is very vibrant. It's so full of energy. It's so full of heart and passion. And for me, it's an honour to play it. And you're great people. I can tell from talking to you. You have such heart and souls, and I can only see that you will succeed and do extremely well. And certainly, as far as I'm concerned, it'll always be my pleasure, you know, to play your music on the show and to track your career and help you in whatever way I can, because that's what this is about. In the universe, it's about giving. And if you give, somehow you get something else back in return. That's how it works. So all I want to say is, you know, it's been lovely to speak with you. I think that there's something very special there. I think you're going to create some amazing music. You already are, but I think the best is yet to come, and I'm looking forward to some very bright and wonderful days for you guys in the band, and I certainly wish you only the best because you so deserve it.
Oh, thank you so much, Jerry. That's
And
amazing.
on behalf of myself and everyone here at the station at Radio Home of Rock, on behalf of the show producer Colin Mullen, thank you so much for doing the interview here, the Turned Up interview. It's been a joy, and I can feel it, I can sense it. You know, there's so much promise with the three of you. And as I say, I wish you only the best, and thanks so much for doing the interview here with us on the show.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yep. Really enjoyed that. Now, also I left out earlier on because I should have mentioned that the single we played before the interview started was How Did I Fall? And that was their fourth single. And then, of course, we had three other tracks that we played, two during and one when the interview finished. The first was World's Gone Mad. followed by Beautiful Loser, and then they picked a track from probably a band that they have links with some of the guys in Roxy Music, so they picked this live track from the Roxy album Viva, which came out in the late 1970s and was Pajama Rama Live. Girls, thank you so much for doing the interview here on the show. It's such a pleasure, and really watching your progress and following your progress and wishing you the very best for the future. And I know some great things are in store. And thank you again so much for taking the time to speak with us here on the show on the Turn It Up interview. Now, next up, we have new music from the McNamara Project, and this is brand new from them, and this one's called More of You.
Got a lot of faith.
Never wanted to be famous, so nobody knows my name.
I've been chasing after rainbows, caught me a lot of dreams. Now here we are in heaven, oh, it was closer than it seemed.
All I needed was a little bit more of you. Just a little bit more of you. Nothing in the world will ever do, yeah. All I needed was a little bit more of you. Spent a lot of time complaining when I could have just danced.
Cried through all the disappointments, Lord, when I should have just laughed.
Now I'm finally realizing that we still got time. We can make up for all mistakes. Wake up and find that. All I needed was a little bit more of you. Oh, just a little bit more of you. Nothing in the world will ever do, yeah. All I needed was a little bit more of you. Whoa, a little bit more of you.
See it now.
Whoa, a little bit more of you,
So
yeah.
all I've been
Whoa.
doing.
Nobody else would ever do. All I needed was a little bit more of you. Oh, just a little bit more of you. Yeah. Nothing in the world will ever do, yeah. All I needed was a little bit more of you. Whoa, a little bit more of you. Whoa, a little bit more of you. Whoa, a little bit more of you, yeah. All that I needed was a little bit more of you. Whoa, a little bit more of you.
Yeah, again, great music, great artists, and it's always a pleasure to play their music on the show. And great to see, new music coming out and live music coming back again, and artists touring. It really is. It's the end of something that really has been so tough on so many of us all over the world for the last 2 years. So great to see that coming to an end. Now we have the fans' favourite. Now, this week is chosen by Mr. Kevin Brady from Cool, Mullingar in Ireland. And Kevin has chosen 3 rather special tracks. The first one is Manhattan Transfer on Chanson d'amour, which was a big hit for them back in 1976. Then he chose Peter Sarsted and Where Do You Go to My Lovely, and that was a single back in 69. And then he finished off with what I consider a classic, Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World. Kevin, thank you so much for those 3 choices. It's always appreciated when the listeners take time to send us in their choices. It's your input into the show. So without further ado, here is the fans' favourite, as chosen by Kevin Brady from Cool, Mullingar, Ireland.
Like Marlene Dietrich, and you dance like Zizi Jeanmaire. Your clothes are all made by Balmain, and there's diamonds and pearls in your hair. Yes, there are. You live in a fancy apartment off the boulevard Saint-Michel, where you keep your Rolling Stones records and a friend of Sacha Distel. Yes, you do. But where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Tell me the thoughts that surround you. I want to look inside your head. Yes, I do. I've seen all your qualifications you got from the Sorbonne and the painting you stole from Picasso. Your loveliness goes on and on, yes it does. When you go on your summer vacation, you go to Juan Lapin with your carefully designed topless swimsuit. You get an even suntan on your back and on your legs. And when the snow falls, you're found in Samoritz with the others of the jet set. And you sip your Napoleon brandy, but you never get your lips wet, no you don't. But where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Won't you tell me the thoughts that surround you? I want to look inside your head, yes I do. Your name, it is heard in high places. You know the Aga Khan, he sent you a racehorse for Christmas, and you keep it just for fun, for a laugh. They say that when you get married, it'll be to a millionaire, but they don't realize where you came from. And I wonder if they really care or give a damn. Where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Tell me the thoughts that surround you. I want to look inside your head, yes I do. I remember the back streets of Naples, two children begging in the rags, both touched with a burning ambition to shake off their lowly born takes. They try. So look into my face, Marie Claire, and remember just who you are. Then go and forget me forever. But I know you still bear the scar deep inside, yes you do. I know where you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed. I know the thoughts that surround you, 'cause I can look inside your head.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I cry. I watch them grow. They learn much more than I never knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful